Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here with another new staff member, Miss Alexis Parde. How are you, Miss Parde?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm playing a little Hawaii 5-0 because I secretly wish that I was in Hawaii. Isn't that nice right now?
That would be so nice. The nice cool breeze from the sea.
I mean, anything, right? I'll take any type of breeze. Although it's been a little overcast this weekend, so it's been nice, huh?
It's been very nice. We've been able to go bike riding and running outside before it's 100 degrees, so it's a relief.
So nice. I know. I hope it stays up for a little bit. We could definitely use some rain, that's for sure.
I agree.
So welcome officially to New Way. You're going to be joining our lower school team. We're so excited to have you.
I'm beyond excited to join the team.
Good. Tell us about your last name. I feel like everyone that hears that you're coming wants to make sure that they enunciate it correctly. So set us straight.
So my last name is Parde. It sounds like a birthday party, but it's spelled a little differently. It's Parde, but still pronounced the same. And of course, everyone's first question is, do you like to party? And my response is, I love birthday parties because my favorite food is cake. And
Oh,
there's no better cake than a birthday party or like a graduation sheet cake. Those are the best.
what's your favorite place to order a cake from?
Oh my goodness. I think Whole Foods has the best options just because if I'm not wanting a specific sheet cake, maybe I want a cheesecake or a cannoli. Whole Foods has every sweet that you can imagine. Very wide selection. I recommend.
And do you bake your own cakes?
I love to bake. Cakes
Oh,
are a little difficult just because there's lots of steps and you have to have all the fancy tools to decorate it. And I sadly don't have those, but I love to try new recipes. Recently, I tried peanut butter and jelly bars, which I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So it kind of took me back to my childhood a little bit. And they're to die for. So I look forward to baking for everyone at New Way
oh,
very
that's
soon.
so cool. You'll have to meet Mrs. Morgan. She's one of our high school teachers, and she is also a serious baker and did a cooking club last year, and the kids got really good. So maybe you can join her and do some lower school cooking.
Absolutely.
All right. So I have to know, you have an animal obsession and you have a few of your own. I'm sure there are
Yes.
many students out there that can relate. I want to hear all about your little animal family.
So it started out with just Lucy, who is a three-legged cat. I got her from the shelter. She needed rescuing, and she's very special because she only has three legs, but you would never believe it because she is so fast and she can jump up on anything and everything. Next came Fuzzy, who was my classroom pet from Lexus, and he was stuck with me after spring break, but I don't know if I'd say stuck because we truly enjoy having him. And believe it or not, all of the animals in this house adore him. They think that he's the best out of all of them. They're all his best friend. And he, again, surprisingly, I think has gained a couple pounds. You will be shocked when you see him. He's not a normal guinea pig. He's about 3 times the size of a normal guinea pig. So he's gotten even bigger during quarantine, which I think we all have, indulged in a few too many treats here and there.
Yeah, those
Um,
peanut butter and jelly bars will get you every time.
exactly. Then we have Canyon, who is a Coonhound German Shepherd mix, speaking of Lucy, and she's wrapped up in my cord. Um, Canyon is 3 years old and he just loves to play. And then we have Peanut, and she's 9 years old, and she is a German Shepherd Pit Bull mix.
Oh,
And then recently we added Mowgli, who is a 2-month-old German Shepherd mixed puppy, who is just full of energy. He just chews on everything, our shoes, he chews on the towels. So yes, he's a handful, but I enjoy it very much so.
so I think I lost count. How many animals in total are living with you right now?
We have 5 living with us in a small apartment, but we make it work really well. We get the dogs out often. We have playtime for each of them. And recently, Lucy is an indoor cat, but she's been exploring outside
Hmm.
and kind of smelling around. And I think she's taking after the dogs,
Hmm.
seeing that they're out there. So
Oh, that's cool. And I believe you moved pretty close to New Way recently. I think you've ridden your bike here. Is that right?
Yes, we're only about 20 minutes away by bike. I've actually ridden a new way probably 5 or 6 times. We've ridden that direction just to kind of find the best path. And each time we go, I think I find an even better path
Oh,
that
cool.
is less cars. So I'm really looking forward to biking to school every day.
So I'm guessing biking is one of your hobbies. What else do you love to do?
I love to climb.
Mhm.
So biking's a new hobby for me since quarantine. I bought a bike. It's a great way to stay active. I was a little hesitant at first just because I'd been on a bike since I was, younger. And I actually crashed my bike the
Oh,
first day that I rode it.
oh,
Um,
oh.
but a great life lesson is to just get back up and try again because I have fallen in love with it. And climbing is a new hobby of mine as well.
Mm.
And something I'd never done before, but facing my fears and trying it, I've fallen in love. And it's one of those things that kind of I took to naturally.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to going more once the quarantine is over.
So are you climbing outside now, or are you in an indoor gym?
So we climb outside, but we only boulder. So that's where you climb without the ropes.
Mhm.
And you only go about 10 feet high. Just because I've never climbed outdoors with ropes, it's a little bit different than indoors. So I think once the quarantine is over, I'll be able to practice more indoors to be prepared to climb outdoors because that's definitely the direction I want to head.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've heard it first. It's like the beginning of your interest, and I would bet in a couple of years you'll be like very skilled. So that's cool. That's really
I
cool.
hope
Did you just
so.
decide one day to try it, or what was your influence?
So my boyfriend actually is big into climbing. He's climbed for about 10 years. And when we first moved in together, he was like, you have to try it. And I was so hesitant and so nervous because it's just something new. And as always, you kind of have that fear and anxiety around, new activities. And I just kind of was like, I have to go for it. And we had a membership after that. And we were going 3, 4 times a week. So
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I
yeah, it's
love
so
that.
fun.
I love that. I want to hear about, are you a native? Did you grow up here? I want to hear all about your roots.
So I'm from Nebraska,
Okay.
a very small town, and I think that's where the love of animals also
Mhm.
comes from.
Yeah.
My sister lives on a farm, and her town has less than 200 people in it, and she's
Wow.
a family of 8, so she takes up a decent portion of the 200.
Oh my God.
But coming from a small town, I feel like I really love that, that small, even the small school vibe of the community and just everyone being so close and friendly. And
Mhm.
that's how I grew up. And I stayed in my hometown and I went to college there as well. And it was just nice to be around my family and watch my sister's kids grow up because she has 6 kids. So it was nice to be a part of their life as long as I could before I moved away. But I just love that small town, but after a while you want to change of pace. And so I decided to move to Arizona on a whim. I didn't have a
Wow.
job and I didn't know anyone. So it was a big step for me, but I am so happy that I made the choice. And it's been 6 years. So
Oh
I've
my
loved
God.
every second of it.
What was it about Arizona? Were you ready for some heat, or what
Oh
was
man, don't tell my parents, but
it?
I moved here because it's just too far for them to drive to see me. They
Mhm.
have to fly, which is a bigger commitment for them. So
Uh-huh. And
it
how
was
often are they doing that?
my parents have been down 3 or 4 times since I've been here. They are homebodies
Okay.
from, that's just kind of a Midwest thing is to
Yeah.
stay home. But we are actually going to go see them next week. So I'm really excited
Oh,
to take a trip and see my whole family.
that's awesome. I was
Yeah.
born in a very small town in Kansas, so we should
Oh,
talk shop about all of our Midwestern roots. That's very cool.
that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a sister. Any other siblings?
Just my sister. She's 8 years older, so there's a big gap in our age.
Okay.
So I felt like I grew up like an only child because when
Yeah.
she was 18 going to college, I was only 10.
Okay.
So I feel like her having kids at a young age really brought us closer together because I wanted to be there for every part of their life.
Okay.
There was a time where I ended up actually living with her because I just couldn't get enough of her little babies. They're just so precious, and I wanted to hold them all the time. So it was
So
nice to be able to be there.
what are their ages from youngest to oldest?
So now they are 13 and 13. So there's two. It's kind of like a Brady Bunch situation. It's
Okay.
yours, mine, and ours.
Okay.
So my sister has a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. And then he has a 13-year-old and twins that are 9.
Okay.
And they had a baby together who will be 8 in October.
Oh my gosh.
So they have a very busy house. When they got married, they were all under the age of 6. So they had 6 kids kids under the age of 6. It was crazy.
Wow.
They are a real life Brady Bunch.
I need to like count my blessings. I have 2, and there are moments where I feel like I can't handle the world. So I am not going to feel like that when I go home amongst the crazy. So we didn't start talking about what your role is going to be at New Way. I think I hinted that you're a lower school teacher, but I know Mr. Walker is still finalizing all of the class schedules, but share with us what you're teaching and anything else you know about what you're going to jump into this year.
So I will be doing lower school reading. I think more reading comprehension. I was able to kind of see some of the kids' names yesterday, which got me so excited to put them into groups and, kind of wait to see what kids I might have. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And any extracurricular activities, I would love to join clubs. I talked to Mrs. Keithley about tennis potentially
Oh,
because
cool.
I played in college and I've always had a passion to, teach others about it as well. Obviously, I love cooking. So the more that I can be involved, the better. I definitely want to dive into New Way with, head first, 2 feet.
Oh, I love that. Now I'm thinking we need to introduce you to Miss Donaldson, who led the Animal Club. We've got Miss
Oh,
Morgan, the cooking. Mr. Deerwester, one of our other new teachers who just was teaching in Spain last year. The school he was at was a tennis focused school. So
cool.
I'm so curious to know what his tennis game is like too. That could be fun that we put you guys in a little tennis match at one of our spirit assemblies this year.
That would be so funny.
So what is it about teaching and those little lower school students that you love so much?
I knew from the day I joined college, first day, I wanted to be a teacher. It was always a passion, and I knew that I loved little kids. And I think being exposed to my sister's kids at such a young age really had, made me feel that connection towards children. And so I think, I always knew that that's what I wanted to do, and it just worked out so well that the college I chose to go to had a wonderful program for education. And then I decided to double major in SPED because I knew that I just didn't want to be limited to elementary education. There's so much out there. And, coming from that small town, I knew I wanted to dive into bigger and better things. So I'm definitely happy I did the double major, but it's just every class that I've taught, every age level that I've taught, I just fall more and more in love with kids and realize that I'm not stuck to one specific grade level, that I love teaching all kids in all grade levels. So yeah.
Well, I will say that some students that may have had you before that are joining have shared their excitement, and it sounds like you are an absolute dynamite teacher. So I think our kids are going to be very lucky to have you this year.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting some new kids and seeing some old faces as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on Zoom. It's always good to see you, and we'll record this and put it out on our Facebook Insider and share it in an email too. So all of your future students that you haven't even met yet, this will be their first glimpse into you. So thanks again, and enjoy your day with all of your sweet animals.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.